There are so many creative ways that people use to track the verses that they're memorizing in the Bible. And we've talked about a lot of them here on this channel, including the Memory Grid, the Bible Memory app, and so many others. But today I want to show you a Bible Memory notebook that I ran across with one of my friends that I posted here on the YouTube channel. A lot of you asked me about it, and I want to share exactly how my friend uses this notebook to keep track of the verses she's memorizing. Welcome to Bible Memory Goal. My name's Josh, and instead of going in and stealing my friend's Bible Memory notebook, I went ahead and created my own because I thought that would be a whole lot nicer. But anyway, it didn't take me that much. I went to Walmart. It was about, I think, $6 to $8, something like that, where I bought a grid notebook, I bought some Sharpie pens, and then I bought these tab dividers that I'm going to use here in just a moment. So the whole purpose of this is really to create a framework, a process by which I know exactly which verses I'm going to review on a daily basis. I have a way to move those into a monthly review, so then I know that every month I need to review these verses, and then also move that into quarterly and annually, or however else you want to divide it up. So what I'm going to do here, you're going to see that I'm going to take this first page and I'm going to create a grid where I've got 3 rows for every single verse that I want to memorize. And I don't want to do probably more than 10 to 15 verses per day here. And I'm going to write out the verse, where you find that verse location in the Bible on the left here. And then on the right, that space there is reserved for the dates. So every day that I review that particular verse, I'm going to go in and write the date. So you see here, February 22nd, I'm writing that date on all the verses that I reviewed that particular day. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with Proverbs 12:18, and let's assume that I spent 30 days reviewing, and I can write out that date, and that date serves a couple different purposes. Instead of just a check mark, doing the date allows me to see any gaps. It keeps me accountable to doing it more on a daily basis as opposed to just checking it off. Really, it's up to you. This is your notebook, however you'd like to do it. But my friend used the date, and she said that really helped to keep her accountable to doing it on a daily basis so that she could see, oh wow, I've done it X number of days in a row. And then once you fill that entirely out for the daily, you're going to go ahead and move that into your monthly space. So I'm going to create that same kind of grid on my monthly page, and then I'm going to move all of those verses onto the monthly. And doing the same thing, whether it's the 1st of the month or the 15th of the month or maybe the first Saturday of the month, however you want to do it, you should set up a particular time when you know you're going to review your monthly verses. And then you can go in and check through and do all of those. And you'll be able to, again, write a date out there. And then once you finish that, going into the quarterly. Now, there's a couple things to note here. Obviously, you're going to fill out more pages on your daily than you will on, let's say, your annual or your quarterly basis. And my friend also mentioned that there are times when she goes into her monthly or her quarterly and realizes, I don't remember that verse as well as I thought I did. And that's okay. You can do a couple different things. You can just spend a little bit of extra time memorizing it, or you could take and move it back into your daily. So just create another 3-line grid and write in that verse that you want to re-memorize on your daily basis. Spend another 30 days reviewing that particular passage before moving it back into your monthly, your quarterly, or your annually. And essentially what you're doing is you're doing an offline version of spaced repetition. You're taking and making sure that you're starting off with a very, every single day you're reviewing that, and then moving to a more spaced monthly basis, or you could even do 2 weeks if you wanted to, and then going to quarterly and then annually. That's the way that a lot of these apps, especially the memory flashcard apps that we use, or even the Bible Memory app works, is it only, as you begin to know the verse better, it spaces out for longer periods of time the number of times that you have to review it. So that hopefully as you get towards the end, you're reviewing something annually and going, yeah, I know that. That's in my memory, and it's good that I memorize it and review it on an annual basis, but I've got that verse. Like, those are my verses. But what I love about this Bible Memory notebook is, especially for those of you who just don't like using a phone to constantly review. I get that. I'm not a huge fan of that all the time either. Sometimes it just gets annoying to sit there and look down at my phone. I don't like the way that it looks for my kids to see me constantly looking down at my phone. Whereas if I have this notebook, or for those of you that prefer having something tactile, something that you can write on, something that you can carry around with you that really almost serves as like a billboard saying, hey, this is something that's important to me, then something like this notebook is a great idea. And if you have any questions about how this works, or even any ways that you've done it slightly differently that people could learn from, I encourage you to leave that down in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. If this was helpful, give it a thumbs up, and I'm always open to hearing your ideas, the things that you use for Bible memory. So go ahead and send those my way, and maybe you'll find it here on the YouTube channel being highlighted as well as my friend's was here. Thanks so much.